look, if you protested peacefully on January the 6th and you've had Merrick Garland's Department of Justice treat you like a gang member, you should be pardoned. If you committed violence on that day, obviously you shouldn't be pardoned.
If you've been craving some jaw-dropping news today, you're going to enjoy this video. I'm laughing because it's wild how often people who get close to Donald Trump, they're as friends, business partners, or political allies, eventually find themselves on the receiving end of trouble. Many in MAGA world still don't seem to learn that lesson by watching others. They end up learning it firsthand. Exactly what Pam Bondi appears to be experiencing right now after a fiery post from Donald Trump ignited a major internal backlash. Some are even calling it a MAGA civil war. The drama is intense, action is over the top, and frankly, it's hard not to laugh at the spectacle. Before we dive into the details of this latest clash, it could mark a turning point for Pam Bondi. I'd love it if you'd take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support our work. Now, let's get into the Trump controversy and the breaking news about Pam Bondi's handling of the Epstein files, along with new information just released by Representative Robert Garcia.
You have the FBI director right now doing everything he can to not release the files when he spent his career as a podcaster before that actually saying he wanted to release the files. You have the Attorney General who said before she was the AG that there should be transparency. All of these folks involved right now, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, they have the full Epstein files. They know who these men are. They know how many times Trump's name is in the files. They know what Trump may or may not have done and what these powerful men have done and the harm they've caused to these women. But they refuse to tell the American public after Donald Trump campaigns on releasing the files. And so what I will say is this, is the American public should know that on the Oversight Committee, we are working every single day and we're gathering more and more information. And I want to encourage folks, there have been many folks out there who have sent us information, victims who have contacted our whistleblower outreach system that we have set up. FBI agents, others, continue to get us information because we are putting together this case. And Donald Trump should know that we will not rest till we get the whole truth about what's actually in the Epstein files.
You to that point.
The work we've seen from the Oversight Committee, especially the way Robert Garcia has stepped up, is a model for Democrats everywhere. He's showing not only what it looks like to fight, but also what it looks like to communicate effectively. Honestly, this should be studied. Proof of what happens when the party elevates young, rising stars instead of defaulting. In-line mindset of the old guard. When fresh voices are empowered, they shine, and they're great at calling out hypocrisy. That's exactly what's happening with Pam Bondi's role in the ongoing Epstein files controversy. Critics argue that her approach hasn't served public interest, but instead has seemed focused on staying aligned with Donald Trump. And now, she may have gone a little too far. Figures are openly angry about her recent crackdown on what she categorized as hate speech of the Charlie Kirk incident. That tension is part of why Trump himself is now pushing back on her. But here's the twist. What Candace Owens, paid of all people pay thing, had to say about Bondi might explain exactly why Trump is so furious.
Pam Bondi, who is a complete loser and a tool, is trying to use the assassination of Charlie Kirk to lay the groundwork for hate speech laws in America. The very thing that Charlie was fighting against. They all just got right to work trying to pass laws. Well, Charlie Kirk is that, so now we got to hate speech is something. Exactly what he's messaging me about that he doesn't want to happen. They're trying to use his death to justify. Listen to what Pam Bondi said to Katie Miller on her podcast. Take a listen.
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
So to be clear, that's the feds telling you that they want to pass speech laws, which will basically just give them the full power to go after you for wrongthink.
Trump wrote Pam, addressing Bondi directly. I have reviewed over 30 statements in posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who is never going to do this job. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him. And there's a great case, and many lawyers, our legal pundits, say so. Lindsay Holligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing a reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President DJT.
The overreach here becoming so obvious and absurd. Even some far-right conservatives are uneasy with the implications. Right-wing personality Matt Walsh posting today, "Get rid of her." Today, "This is insane. Conservatives have fought for decades," he's right, "for the right to refuse service to anyone. We won that fight. Now Pam Bondi wants to roll it all back for no reason." Of course, Bondi still has her job, unlike a growing list of columnists and professors, teachers, medical professionals, even store clerks and football coaches who have been fired or bullied or threatened for their posts in the past week. Posts that sometimes are just quoting things that Charlie Kirk, a public figure, a very unabashed, a proud activist, said in his life, in the course of his work. Keep in mind, all this pressure to speak and act the right way comes from the same political movement that attempted a, violent insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th. An anti-democratic coup in which at least 174 law enforcement officials were assaulted. One ultimately died. And it's hard to recall now, but absolutely critical to remember that even the most loyal supporters of Donald Trump knew at the time what January 6th was, and they also took pains to distinguish between nonviolent protesters who showed up at the Capitol that day and the violent folks who actually assaulted cops.
Look, if you protested peacefully on January the 6th and you've had Merrick Garland's Department of Justice treat you like a gang member, you should be pardoned. If you committed violence on that day, obviously you shouldn't be pardoned.
That was J.D. Vance this year, this calendar year. Now, of course, he has changed his tune when Trump pardoned all the insurrectionists, even the violent ones, on his first day in office. The first signal he sent to the American people about his feelings about political violence was approval and encouragement. And now Trump and Vance and the rest of the administration sense this moment as an opportunity in which they can quash dissent and the freedoms that we cherish.
What are we even doing at this point? Seriously, what are we doing? This should be national news every single day. We should be raising our voices, demanding accountability, and pushing our leaders to treat this with the urgency it deserves. Democrats in Congress need to step up, and so do we. And we'll keep doing that right here, not backing down. And I know you aren't either. If you want to support this fight, hit that subscribe button, but leave a like. And if you made it to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments to let me know you're with us.